In this video, I'm going to show you how to negotiate more than 25% off your next property deal. Hello there, my name is Luis Desnuisa. If this is your first time coming over my videos, my channel is all about how you can buy your first investment property using little or none of your money, and how you can use property to build your health and wealth and have a good lifestyle. If you don't want to miss any of the content that I create and will be creating every week, make sure that you turn the subscribe button, turn on the download notifications so you don't miss out on all the content that I will be creating. Have you realized that there is always sales on shops? And the things that you could have bought maybe for £100 get discounted and then being sold for £75 or £50. That means all those things could have been sold for less when they were being sold that highly. Have you ever thought about that? Now, if you were to ask in a shop to buy that piece of equipment at that time, they were selling it at £100 for £50, people would have thought you were crazy. But then they can discount it and sell it for 50% less after a while. In property, it's actually easy to ask for discount and to have discounts because property valuations are subjective. And if you can prove the opposite, if you can prove that the price of the property is different, you can actually win a deal. So let me share with you 5 things that you can do to get 25% discount from your next property. Number 1, plant discount seeds during your viewings. When you go out to view your properties, point out the defects. When you go into the property with the vendor or with the estate agent, look at the cracks on the walls, look at the damp. Actually buy a damp meter and it will make a sound in the house when it detects any damp, and show it to the agent, show it to the vendor. Check for leaks, point it out to them. Look for breakages, point it out to them, and tears on carpets and walls. And, by doing that, you are already beginning to point to them that you will be actually discounting or asking for a discount. You should also discuss costs of repairs with the vendor or with the agent. Ask the agent what they think, how much money they think you will need to be able to refurbish the property into a high standard. And also ask if they have got builders who can do the job for the price that they will be quoting you. Because in that case, you're going to be making a comparison between what you know already and what they are telling you. Also, share your plan with the costs. By this I mean, you would have done your research before going to view the property, of course. Your online research, your desktop research, you would have done all of that. And you would have known how much you're going to spend in the property should it be exactly as you saw it on the internet. So you can share this with the vendor or share it with the estate agent and say, look, I intend to put about £25,000 in this property because I want to refurbish it into a high standard. By saying this to the vendor or the agent, they already begin to know that you are setting a certain standard. And of course, by the time you reach the end and you're making an offer, they already know your standard and they already know what you might spend in the property. Ask for team members and referrals. Ask them if they have got surveyors, if they've got builders, if they've got roofers, if they've got managers. By this, you are also engaging and involving the estate agent in the deal itself. Because at the end of the day, when you're going to be making an offer, you'll be saying, hey, this is what my builder thinks, and this is what the builder which you referred, he also thought that you need to spend this amount of money in the property to bring it to a high standard. They will believe the person they referred to you, and they will believe that what they have said is correct. So ask for referrals, although you might not use them. You might have your own built team, But of course, by asking for referrals, you are actually just planting seeds for a discount. Seek opinions on costs, rent, and sales. Ask the agent or the vendor how much houses are going for rent in the area, and ask them how much they would sell the property. For example, say to them, look, if I refurbish this property to a high standard and give it to you for sale, how much would you put it back in the market? How much would you rent it? By this, you are already gathering information to be able to craft a deal, and they always give you more or less what the council will give in terms of rents. So you can use that low price to set a low offer. If you like this, if you like what you're hearing, then please do remember to subscribe, click the notification button so that you can not miss the content that I give you every week on some of these issues. Number 2, do your research and know your numbers beforehand. Before you actually make an offer on the property, note previous sale prices. If you go, for example, to websites where we're selling properties, they will actually tell you how much that house was bought or sold in the past years. By knowing that price, you will already know that, for example, it was sold for £50,000 10 years ago. So it should probably be about £100,000 in 10 years after that. Again, it's subjective. In some places, prices double every 10 to 15 years. And in some places, the growth is slower. If you know your area, you should be able to know what the price was before and what the price should be right now. Use online property engines or search engines like Zoopla, Rightmove, Gumtree, and the rest to find this information. There's actually a video, or there's one of our videos which I have done on how you can carry out these searches properly. Look at comparables. We always say that you should look at comparables that have sold, the properties that have sold in the area within the last 2 to 3 or 4 months, and you go as far as from a quarter of a mile to up to a mile, and you use those comparables to actually say, look, there is a property which is similar to this one which was sold for X amount that last year or this year. You can use that to also base your own offer that you're going to make towards this property. Know the done-up value. The done-up value is the value of the property after the refurbishment. After you've put in some money, what would that house then cost? Again, you know this by checking the properties in the area that have been refurbished and sold within the last few months in the area. And you can do this, of course, by knowing how much you're going to invest in the property to refurbish it. You think about the cost of the refurbishment, the cost of the buying, the cost of legals and things like that. Put all of those costs together, and they will be able to help you to calculate the done-up value. There is also another video of mine where I show you how to calculate the done-up value for the property and how you can calculate the cash flow and monthly cash flow from the property, and how you can also project the future capital of the property. Know your refurbishment costs. There are certain standard things that you should know. For example, you should know the cost of a kitchen, of a new kitchen in your area. You should know the cost of a new bathroom suite in your area, the cost of carpeting a 3 or 4 bedroom house, and you should know the cost of plastering a room or 2 or 3 in your area. By knowing these things, you can be able to nearly calculate everything that you need to cost, everything you need to use in refurbishment, and then you can use that to craft a good deal and take that away or subtract that from the cost of the property that is being sold. Decide on your purchase price. Now, how do you decide on your purchase price? You look at the done-up value and you decide whether you are going to want a 25, 50, or 35% gain in the property. Now, if you want a 25% gain, then you calculate all the money that you have put in the property and subtract all that money from the done up value which you have projected. And then you make an offer at that point. Again, there is another video where I clearly show you with numbers how to calculate your done up value and how to calculate your maximum purchase price. And once you set your maximum purchase price, which is usually giving you a profit that you need, then you don't move from there. And you can also then communicate part of this done up value with the vendor or with the estate agent. But by so doing, you are showing them that, look, you're going to spend so much money to bring this property to a certain value, to a certain level. And so as a business, you want to make a certain profit as well. And so that is the reason for which you may be asking for a discount. Number 3, make flexible offers above 25%. Yes, make an offer according to your numbers. We've seen already that you can have a maximum offer and that you can also work on certain parameters like your done up value. So use the max offer and start a couple of thousands below. For example, if your maximum offer was 120,000, don't just go and say, yes, okay, I'm going to offer 120,000. No, start maybe from 105,000 or even start from 90,000 and aim to progress upwards after 2 or 3 days, maybe up to then 100,000 or 105,000 and 115,000 or so. Again, aim to revise your offer twice. Don't just give an offer and then stay on it. Be flexible in a way, because although you're going to make an offer, you know that most likely they are not going to accept it. If they accept your offer the first time, it means you've offered too much. So aim to revise this twice and always give a reason. And also make sure that your offer is never a full value. For example, instead of offering something like 100,000, offer something like 100,260 pence. They know that you have done some calculations, and when you are increasing the offer, show them why you are increasing that offer and show them what you have taken away from your previous calculation and from your previous refurbishments to be able to add a little bit more money to the offer. You're doing all this for them to believe what you're saying, believe what you're doing, and therefore they will believe the offer that you are offering. So keep the numbers real. If it seems ridiculous, if your offer seems ridiculous, make it conditional. For example, say things like, look, I know that this is a very good property, but when I worked my numbers, they were a little low. But if I were to make an offer, this is what I would offer. That is making an offer. Say things like, is it okay if I just tell you what my numbers look like? They're not very promising, and I know somebody might offer more, but this is what I could have offered if I were to make an offer. But would you mind just letting the vendor know? By that, you've already made an offer. And also make it fun. When you're going to give a very low offer, if you're ringing the estate agent, ask them, for example, hey, are you standing up or sitting down? Because I'm about to make my offer. When they laugh, you make your offer. Make it lighter. Offer dependent on survey results. Never make an offer without saying, hey, I am making this offer subject to the survey results. And what are you doing here? You are laying bridges, you are planting seeds for a discount, because when your survey is done and there is any little issue, you can then say, hey, look, because of A, B, or C, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask for a discount, or if I take the offer, or if I stick with the offer I offered previously, then I'm afraid I'm going to run out of pocket. So would you mind just maybe considering the problems that have arisen through the survey, and maybe take off 1 or 2 or 3,000 pounds from it? Every little helps, if I can borrow that sentence. State your final offer and do not shift. Position yourself as the person who is going to buy this property. Every 2 days, ring the agent and find out what is going on. Because when you call often, you are in their minds, and if there is nobody who's going to buy it, they will remember you because you've been calling. And once you reach your max offer, do not move, because at that point, the person who moves loses. Again, if you like the content which I'm offering, do not forget to subscribe, please, and hit the notification button so that you can get the free content I give and will be producing every week. Number 4, position yourself as a win-win solution provider. What do we mean by this? Talk to the vendor and explore other solutions, even with the estate agent. Ask them, have you tried to sell this property through other means? Have you tried to let this property yourself? What if you could let this property and you earn ABC amount from it? Did you know that you could do this and do that with the property and earn a little bit more from it? And what is the reason for doing this? You are positioning yourself as a solution provider, and you are on the side of the vendor. When they know you are on their side, they will sell you the property. Find out a little more as well, whether if they were not able to sell this property, whether they have a plan. And if they don't have a plan, you can already be there, ready with a plan, because there are other things that we can do. Of course, there are other strategies that you can use, like lease options, rent to rent, and so on. Even if they do not sell it to you, there are other solutions that you can provide. So listen and be interested in the vendor. Know their story. Find out about their family. Find out about their interest. Find out about why they are selling the property. They might then reveal to you certain things that you might use to ask for a discount. For example, they might say to you, look, I am selling this property because I'm moving to another country and I have no one to look after the property. Hey, that gives you an idea. You might be able to come up with a lease option from it. You might be able to come up with a rent-to-rent strategy, or you might be able to say, okay, when are you traveling? And they can say, look, I'm really tight for time. I must sell soon. So there you go. You can then be that person who will buy the property soon, and therefore you can ask for a discount. Offer to help if your offer is not accepted. Yes. Remember, be and position yourself as a win-win solution provider, even a good solution for the vendor. So if your offer is not accepted, always say to them, look, if there is anything I can do to help you sell the property, let me know. And of course, you always have to repeat that if everything goes haywire, you are still going to be the last person to buy because you can act fast. Recognize the value of the agent. Sometimes we forget that the agent is also doing a business. While the agent is there and while you're viewing the property with the agent, take them a box of biscuit or something like that, and acknowledge their presence, acknowledge their help, thank them for viewing with you and for sharing the information with you. And of course, you are planting seeds for a discount. If they know and like you and know that you are working with and for them as well, they will work with and for you. State, for example, that you are the last man standing or the last woman standing, because in this case, remember that they want to sell as fast as they can and they want to get the highest amount as they can. But if you are the consistent person there and you are always calling and checking and asking, they might just decide to sell the property to you. But of course, if they know also that if everybody can't buy this property and you are willing to buy, they may also sell to you. And here's the last one. Follow up with a good pace. Yes, they say that the money is in the follow-up. And where does this follow-up start? It starts from you actually making an offer, either on the same day or the next day. And you always give feedback, either the same day or the next day, and say things, for example, like, hey, look, I really loved your property. It was a good property. It's in a fantastic location. I really like it. It's a great, and actually you're asking a great price for it. The price you're asking is really good. If somebody were buying that property, or if I were to buy that property to live in, I would actually pay for the asking price. But because I am an investor, I need to take certain things into consideration. I need to take my refurbishment and my overhead costs into consideration. Plan callbacks every other day. This is so important. Again, we've mentioned it that the person who is constantly there and the person who is right on their faces in a nice way wins the deal. Whoever calls often gets the buyer to know that they are serious because they want to sell. And the agent also wants their commission. So they're going to definitely choose the person who is going to act fast. And always call and remind them that you can act fast with speed. Remind them that you are a solution provider. Yes. And how can you do this? Tell them that, you've got other properties in the same area. You're looking to build a portfolio in the area. You've bought 2 or 3 or 4 of them, and this is your 5th and 6th, and you will be coming back for more. And also always say to them, look, because you're a cash buyer, you can buy fast. Ask about the vendor and the agent. We've kind of mentioned this a little bit, but find out about, what's happening around them. Why are they selling? Ask about the families, their interests, where they're going on holiday. Build a relationship with them, because you can use all of these things to craft a deal, to negotiate a discount. Remind them again that you are ready to buy with speed. This is so crucial. Remember why they are selling. They want to sell the property and they don't want to keep spending money on adverts, and the agent wants to sell because they want their commission now. That is how they get paid. So if you can remind them all the time that you can act fast and buy with speed, they will be willing to sell to you. You're doing all these things to plant seeds for a discount. I hope you have had some value, some really great value from watching this video or from listening to what you have heard. And I hope that by now you have picked at least 5 ways of negotiating 25% off your next property deal. Of course, we have looked at planting discount seeds during your viewings. We've talked about doing your research and knowing your numbers beforehand. We've looked at making flexible offers above 25%. We have looked at positioning yourself as a win-win solution provider. And we have talked about following up with great and good pace. There's a lot more than this. These are just 5 summary points. There's a lot more that I teach in my property investment course on negotiating deals, which if you would like to know a little bit more, I will give you the chance sometime later. However, as a thank you for watching and sharing in this training, I'll give you a downloadable chapter from my up-and-coming book shortly. The book summarizes and gives you a lot more content on how to invest in property, especially buying your first and second investment property using little or none of your own money. But it expands on a lot more things than just investing in property. It looks at various ways of investing in property. It looks at communicating with various team members. It looks at negotiation and extensively looks at how to negotiate deals. And it also looks at other ways of making money through property. I appreciate that not everybody is able to go and buy properties. And of course, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But a lot more people will like to make money from property without necessarily buying or without necessarily controlling. So I examine various ways, about 20 different ways of making money through and from property in that book. When that book is ready, which will be shortly, I shall let you know a little bit more about that. But by the end of this video, you should find a button which is going to lead you to download this downloadable chapter. We'd like to learn from you as much as we can. Tell us what's your best negotiation skill or your best negotiation style or sentence or statement. Please put it below here. Make a comment so that we can all learn from you. And I really hope that you have got some value from what I've shared with you. And if so, please hit the like and the notification button so that you don't miss the content that I'll be producing every week for you. And also like and share this video, because the more you share and the more people view, the more YouTube is going to share this video and help more people. We are all about providing value to people, helping people to buy their first and second investment property using little or none of their own money. But our principle, of course, is each one teach one, and use property to make your life better, to build wealth and health and so on. So thank you so much for listening. Thanks very much for watching, and thanks very much for taking action. I will leave a link to other videos here, here, and here, and a subscribe button here. And so this is Luistas Nuisa once more. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the content that I provide free for you during and through this channel. Bye for now.